So here we are. Okay. So with Memorial Day just behind us, frankly, I'm pleased to announce that the Orange County District Attorney's Office has filed felony vandalism charges with a gang enhancement against Eric Allen Cabrera Mora. He's a criminal street gang member, and he's accused of defacing the Among Heroes mural that you see behind us here. This very meaningful work of art honors the United States military service of nearly 200 Mexican-American heroes who grew up right here in Santa Ana. Many of these brave men and women have given up their lives while fighting for the freedoms that we're here enjoying now. I have a Mexican-American heritage, and I'm a veteran as well, and so I take pride in both my heritage and my service, but also the service of all of these great heroes who did so much for us to protect our freedom. The act of defacing this beautiful mural disrespected the heroes who made Santa Ana and Orange County proud by defending our country. Gang members, by tagging, not only commit a crime against the victim of their property, but also against the community, as the damage is intended to strike fear throughout the community. Vandalizing this mural was a senseless act, and it's important that this community, that as a community, that we stand together, that we send a strong message that we will not tolerate vandalism nor any form of gang activity in our neighborhoods. I'm honored to be here today to take a stand against those who wish to degrade the hard work of local business owners and residents whose communities suffer from these brazen crimes. I commend the Santa Ana, the City of Santa Ana, and the Santa Ana Police Officers Association, the Santa Ana Arts and Culture Commission, and Mayor Pro Tem Michelle Martinez, who all quickly banded together and helped raise the funds necessary to commission the original artist to restore this mural back to its original condition. The work is ongoing now as we speak. To speak more on how this came together, Councilmember Juan Villegas from the City of Santa Ana is here, and he'll be followed by Police Chief David Valentin, and afterwards we'll have a little bit of time for a few questions. Juan?
Thank you, Mr. Rackauckas. Thank you, everyone, for being here today. First, I'd like to thank the Santa Ana Police Department and the Orange County District Attorney for working together on solving this crime. This is not just a crime of vandalism, but it's a crime against our culture. It's a crime against our heritage here. Santa Ana is home to many, many veterans. As you can see in our wall here, these are just a few of the faces of people here in our community. We have a very small voice in the history of military here, but we are home to many, many veterans. I too am a veteran. I'm the only veteran on the council at the moment. So like Mr. Rackauckas was saying, there was a lot of money that was put together to help restore this to its original form. As you see, it's in the process. We raised a little over $11,000 for the work. It was spearheaded by Mayor Pro Tem Michelle Martinez, and also there was contributions given by the City of Santa Ana and by the Santa Ana Police Officers Association. I want to thank them all for their work in cooperation in putting and raising the funds to restore this. And I thank you again, Mr. Rackauckas and Chief Valentin, for your hard work in bringing justice to the residents and to the veterans here in Santa Ana. Thank you. Chief?
Thank you. Good afternoon. I want to thank everyone for coming and joining us this afternoon and really acknowledging what has developed here in this case. Thank you to District Attorney Tony Rackauckas, Councilmember Villegas, and I also want to thank all the community members. If you span out, folks starting to come out of this neighborhood. One of the unique circumstances in this case is that this was very much a disrespect not only to the mural and to the art, but to this neighborhood and to the culture. And so with that, you saw police officers standing side by side, shoulder to shoulder with residents from this neighborhood to see how we can come together and not only solve the crime itself, but also help and restore this beautiful project. Like the council member said, over $11,000 raised. The work is in progress. When I shared the news that we had a filing in this case with my police department, nothing but overjoy with ensuring that someone's going to be held accountable for this vandalism act that occurred. Essentially, the facts of the case are that there's surveillance that was recovered when the actual vandalism occurred, including a suspect license plate identified in this case. That was investigated, tracked back to a suspect who had been arrested by another agency. Detectives interviewed the suspect and he confessed to this crime. And then subsequent to that, the case was presented to the district attorney's office for the filing of 2 felony charges.
So I just wanted to introduce you very quickly to Mr. Samuel Romero. And Mr. Romero has been one of the leading staunch members of this community for many years, and he would like to say a word or two.
I would sure like to thank this guy and this other big guy and the bigger guy. He's got 4 stars, okay? But here, what you see here are my neighbors. I grew up in this neighborhood, okay? I was born in 1934, so you know how long I've lived in this neighborhood. These are, again, my neighbors. A lot of them have passed away in combat. Some have just passed away in natural causes. I'm a former Marine too. I was discharged in 1958, so I've been around a while too. And believe me, we were gratified when we heard today that folks have made an arrest. It's really super. And I want to thank again all of you for showing up. In behalf of the president, I'm only the representative, the president, Joe Andrade. He's back here. He's very shy. He doesn't like to say, and he's not even to his wife, so you know how he is. So anyway, thanks a lot for showing, okay? Thank you.
So we have a few minutes. We could take some questions if anybody has any.
How many times has the mural been vandalized? Was it once or twice? I think it's more than once.
Mr. Romero?
That was one, Joe? Just one time vandalized once? It's been vandalized only once, one time, but actually twice in like 2 days, 3 days. They did the blue and then they did the white.
I suppose it's going to be somebody that make a donation for coating, protecting the murals for preventing the future more vandalism. Do you know about that?
You know, it's a mural. It's on the side of a building out in the street, and it's you know, it's a great thing. And I don't know what kind of protection you might have in mind. I think that you know, it just shouldn't be vandalized. So you know, hopefully it won't happen again.
It's going to continue under surveillance the area. Yes.
Are we going to continue to
This with the surveillance.
surveillance?
Yes.
I'm sorry, what was the question?
Are we going to continue with the surveillance and prevent?
Yes, so the surveillance that I was referring to was how the case was solved. It was actually footage that we obtained that identified a possible suspect and also a license plate. To go back to your previous question, part of the funds that were raised were not only to restore the project, but also to add a protective coating to the entire project. Obviously, the first point is not to vandalize it, but that'll be part of the restoration as well.
You know, Joe and I, the neighborhood, has talked about how we can protect this. I think one of them is visibility, right? The problem that we have a lot of times, trucks will park here, it's not visible. So anybody could be out there spray-praying. If the city would please red curb this area here, 2 reasons. One, to the visibility of the mural. Second, it's very dangerous to get on the Washington Street when there's vehicles parked right in this area. So city could do a big favor to the neighborhood by red curb in here. Thank you.
Sir, can you talk about the importance of the murals to the neighborhood?
Well, you know, a lot of times people say, well, what have this people done? Nobody realized how many people in this neighborhood. This is not all. We're hoping we get permission to put more pictures up there. There's a lot of people. I have brother-in-laws that are not up here because there was not enough space. So a lot of people here are proud of what they did. A lot of them volunteer right off the bat. Okay, there's draftees. Yes, I was a volunteer myself. So we had a lot of volunteers out of this neighborhood, and we're very, very proud of that. That's why I wear my pin, Marine Corps with a flag.
Could you repeat your name, please?
Samuel Romero. And I haven't lost my Spanish, by the way.
And how old are you, may I ask?
I'm a spring chicken at almost 83.
Thank you.
Mr. Romero, can you give a statement in Spanish or tell them?
Estamos muy orgullosos de este mural porque mucha de nuestra gente aquí de descendencia mexicana, recién llegados, primera generación, unos que apenas llegaron a este país y se fueron de voluntarios a la guerra mundial. Guerra mundial, también a Corea, Vietnam y otras guerras que ahorita existen. Estamos muy orgullosos nosotros. Muchas gracias.
My mother's very disappointed that I wasn't able to deliver that in Spanish. But anyway, thank you very much.